and welcome to episode 58, I believe, of the Graceful Tangle podcast. I am so happy to be back with you guys today with another podcast episode. These are so much fun to film, and I can't wait to chat about all of my projects with you guys. It's kind of a strange episode. I have lots of projects to talk about, but you've only seen like 3 of them, maybe, in the past. I don't know. I have some new things going on. I have a new design to share. I have a design that I haven't shared in a few weeks. I have progress on a previous whip and a brand new work in progress. I'm excited. It's going to be a really good episode. So today is Saturday, June the 19th. It is actually, let's just look at my computer here, 7:03 a.m. So it is a Father's Day weekend, so happy Father's Day to any of the fathers out there. I don't think many men watch this, but if you do, happy Father's Day. Anyway, so it's going to be a very rainy weekend. We have a tropical disturbance. Let's just leave it at that. It's kind of a tropical storm. I'm not actually sure if it's been upgraded that far yet. Basically, we have tropical rain coming all the way to where we live, which is northeast Alabama, all weekend. And so, honestly, I wasn't hoping to film this episode yesterday, so I didn't have to worry about the lighting, but that did not end up happening. The day went by way too quick. It was a crazy day. And it hasn't started raining yet. The lighting is good because of daylight savings, and I know it's going to rain for like the rest of the day. So here we are at 7 in the morning on a Saturday filming a podcast. Lots worse places to be, I must admit. So, like I said, so many exciting things to talk about this week. So let's just go ahead and hop into it because I have 2 finished objects to share. Okay, so my first finished object are my June socks. I am so obsessed with these. I love how they turned out. So I knit the Together We Knit socks, which is a pattern by Julie of Twin Stitches Designs. This is a free pattern in her Ravelry shop, so be sure to check it out if you haven't already. I highly recommend it. Really couldn't recommend it more. It's such a great pattern. I love the layout of all of her sock patterns, and this one is definitely no different. Not to mention that it's free. Like, that's just way too generous. So, really recommend it. The yarn that I used for these socks is Knit Picks Gloss Fingering in the colorway Velveteen. So, I really love this lavender color. I don't have a pair of socks in it yet. And I think it's so beautiful. So, a couple of things that I wanted to note about this pattern. First off, I followed the pattern almost to a T. I decided to do an afterthought heel instead of the recommended heel flap and gusset, just because that's what I prefer. So yeah, I did that. I also did my own toe pattern just because I have it in my mind. It's easy. Again, it's just what I like to do. It makes me know, my specific measurements and how many rows I need to do for the foot to fit this specific toe. So yeah, it really just works out well. Another thing that I did is on the right and left socks, I wanted the cable to be able to be kind of interchangeable when worn. So on one sock, I did the cable at the end of the foot of the sock, so it's going to be on the center of my, on the inside of my foot. And then on the other sock, I did it at the beginning of the front of the sock. So that'll make more sense if you actually, download the pattern for yourself. But basically, pretend that these are my, this is really weird. Pretend that these are my feet. So I wanted it to be able to be on the inside like this, symmetrical, and on, well, we'll just do that on the outside like that. So I don't know. I've talked about that in a recent episode, how that part kind of confused me a little bit because I have a tendency to overthink things. But I'm really glad that I made that change because that's definitely what I wanted with these socks. So yeah, I loved following along with this pattern. She actually has a modification for, instead of doing this garter on the front of the sock, you keep the ribbing pattern and then also keep the cables, of course. And so I might make another pair and do that modification and see how I like those. I don't know. I definitely wanted another pair of these socks sooner rather than later. Because I love them so much. So like I said earlier, these are my June socks, and so every month this year I am choosing a different pattern from a different designer and knitting a pair of socks, to kind of dedicate towards that month, whether it be, the yarn reminds me of that month, or, anything like that. And there have been so many patterns already this year that I love. And so I want to make a list of those and then go back and knit them again next year, I think is what I want to do. So yeah, really, really love these socks. Actually, what I might do is make a pair of these for my mom for Christmas. I think she would really like those. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I've just had that thought, but I think she would really like them. So yeah, completely obsessed with these socks, and I'm so happy that they are now complete and June isn't over. It's June 19th, like I said. It's just over halfway done. So done nice and early this time. I like that for sure. Okay, and then I have another finished object. So the Breezy Eyelet Shawl is a free pattern in my Ravelry shop. It is one of my most popular patterns. That makes me so happy because I love it so much as well, and I'm so glad that you guys do too. I wanted to create a video tutorial to go along with this pattern. I have finally done it, and I am so glad. So you can now find it on my channel. I'll link it down below. But I made this sample throughout the week to go along with that tutorial. So basically what I do for tutorials is for this specific pattern, it is a 2-row repeat. It's really beginner friendly. And so I just started it on camera and did about I don't know, this much. And then I did the rest of it off camera. So that's what I was working on kind of throughout the week here and there. And then I finished up that tutorial when the shawl was done. But yeah, so here is what it looks like all complete. I don't know if I have a ball band in here. I meant to grab one. Let me see. Yes, I did. Yay! Okay, so this is the yarn that I used. This is from the Knitting Fever Queensland collection. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I'm going to guess and say Kathmandu, maybe. But it's their Aran 100 Luxurious Merino Silk and Cashmere Tweed. So this is the colorway Blueberry. It is, let me see, 85% wool, 10% silk, and 5% cashmere. So it is a really nice blend. I really, really enjoyed using this yarn. I actually have a bit left over. So the shawl is pretty big. It's the size that I like my shawls, personally. But like I said, I do have a little bit of yarn left over, and I think it's in my basket here. Let's see if I threw it in or not. Here it is. So I have this much left over, and I want to see if it's enough to, if it's enough to make a hat. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to weigh it. I kind of don't think it's quite enough, but we'll have to see. And if it is, I'll totally make a hat because I think it'd be a super fun hat as well. But anyway, really, really love this shawl, and you can now find the tutorial on my YouTube channel, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. And it's a really, really beginner-friendly shawl. It's perfect for any weight of yarn, any hook size. I personally cannot wait to make a fingerling weight version. I'm definitely going to have to do that sooner rather than later because it would totally work for this pattern, and I want to be able to show that accurately. So definitely hope to do that soon. So that is it for finished objects, just those two. I have 2 works in progress. It's going to be in multiples of 2. I think I literally have two whips to show, 2 designs, 2 FOs. I'm not complaining about it. It's nice and manageable. I'm not going to lie. So let's go ahead and hop into works in progress. Today I have 2 very exciting projects to share. Okay, so like I said, I am working on 2 projects right now that are again from other designers. So I also have designs going, of course, but these are 2 exciting works in progress. They're kind of just like, you know, my break from life, in a sense, just being able to relax and work on somebody else's pattern. It is really, really nice and something that I never want to stop doing, no matter how big designing gets. So my first work in progress is something that you have seen before. This is my Blue Ridge shawl, which is a Tunisian crochet pattern by Kay of K Crochets. Absolutely love her and am so grateful to have her support and friend in this awesome community. But here is my shawl so far. So this is a triangle shawl that's worked from side to side. So you start on one end, work all the way across until you get to the widest, or the deepest point, I should say. And then you decrease back down to the other side. I am almost halfway done. Since last week, I have done all of these fading rows, which I know that you can't really see, but basically this is all one color. And then this is now fading in this darker kind of medium gray color. So It's going really, really well. I was honestly hoping to get a little bit more done on this project this week, but it didn't end up happening. It's totally okay. Tunisian crochet is also slower than both normal crochet and knitting, in my opinion. So it's kind of just like, you know, a really relaxing project. I'm intentionally taking it slow, kind of treating it as like crochet therapy in a sense, what I'll talk more about later. But yeah, really, really loving this project, and I cannot wait to wear it. I actually want to wear it with this exact shirt that I have on now and some shorts. I think it's going to be so cute. I'm so excited. I love it, love it, love it so much. So it's pretty wiggly right now because it's been in a project bag. I can't talk. It's too early to talk. But anyway, I love it so much. You can kind of see the fading, right? It's so pretty. I love this pattern. So the yarn that I'm using is a Crochet Cotton. This is a DK weight cotton and linen blend. I'm using the colorways Silver, so that is my first gray. Carrera, which is my next gray, my medium gray. And then last but not least, I'll be using the colorway Rocket last. So it's a beautiful gray fade. I think it's going to work so well together. Really, really excited about this project, if you can't tell. I'm just having so much fun with it. And then the hook that I'm using is one of the Crochet Radiant hooks. This one is size K, 10.5 or 6 millimeter. Really, really like this hook. I'm getting more and more used to it as I crochet on this project, and I'm loving it. Like, it is so nice to work with. The wood is just so smooth. I love it so much. So I'm really loving this project. I would say that I can't wait to be done, but honestly, I'm just enjoying the process so much with this particular pattern that I'm just going to take my time and enjoy it, and it'll be done, you know, sooner rather than later, I'm sure, but at the same time, this is going to be such a great transitional piece from summer to fall. So yeah, I'm going to get a lot of wear out of it, regardless of when I actually get it done this year. So, loving this project so very much. Okay, next work in progress is a brand new sweater. I am so excited about this sweater. So, I am knitting the Drop V Tee, which is a pattern by Claire of Perfectly Knotted. I love, love, love her patterns. Let me see. I printed out the pattern, but I'm not sure if I have the cover. Oh, yay. Well, okay. This is not very good quality because my printer only does black and white. And for some weird reason, this actually looks especially bad. Okay. You're not going to be able to tell many details at all, but here is it on her. So basically, it is a short sleeve knit shirt. And then there, you cannot see it in these pictures, but it has drop stitches along the hem and along the hem of the sleeves as well. And it's V-neck. So I'm really loving the construction so far. It's going to be a really good sweater for the summer months. Like, it's going to be really lightweight and oversized, hoping. More about that in a second. And just drapey. It's going to be amazing. Super excited about it. So that is a sweater that I am knitting. And here is my progress. So this sweater is, it uses raglan shaping, and it starts off flat, and then you will join in the round once you have worked a good amount, because that is what creates the V. So like right now, as you can see, this is what my project looks like. So if I were to put it on right now, you can see that this is where the V-neck is going to go. And so I'm going to work for quite a bit longer and then join in the round, and that'll finish off the V-neck, and then I'll just work in the round until it is done. So obviously it's not on like super correctly right now, but this is really a more accurate representation of what it's actually going to fit like. This is my first time doing this increase, and I love it. It took me quite a few tries to get the hang of it, but here is what it looks like when it's done correctly. Oh my goodness, how beautiful is that? Like, that is not a slip stitch. That is working 2 increases back to back. I am obsessed with it. It is so beautiful. I've been curious as to how she did that little detail from the get-go, from when I originally saw this pattern. And it's so pretty. It is so pretty. I'm having so much fun with this project. So I am using Knit Picks Shine Sport, I believe. I don't have a new skein in here. I see it on my shelf. I think it's Knit Picks Shine Sport, and I know the colorway is Wisteria. So really, really beautiful, kind of like icy lavender almost. It is so pretty. So, so pretty. So I'm really excited about this pattern. I am knitting the size 34, which is a 34-inch finished bust. My bust is 31 inches, so that's going to give me about 3 inches of positive ease. Honestly, I kind of wanted more than that, but I only have 5 skeins of this yarn, so I really only had enough yarn to knit the 34-inch size. I didn't really pay that much attention to it when I ordered the yarn. Should have done that, but it's okay. Not a big deal. But I didn't, like, I checked my gauge, but only briefly. And if anything, my gauge is a little bit larger than hers is, so it might be a little bit bigger than that. And it's totally okay if it is. I'm really not worried about it, honestly. I'm not even worried about the yarn amount. Like, it's totally fine. Again, this is just such an enjoyable project. I am having a lot of fun with it. I'm using size 7 needles. These actually are the needles I am actually using. I'm using my Rainbow Wood interchangeable needles from Knit Picks, but I filmed a review for those needles to go live this week on my YouTube channel, and I switched to these needles just so I could have the whole set to show in that video. So anyway, I'll switch back to those because I was really enjoying using wooden needles with this yarn. But anyways, loving this project. I posted about it on Instagram the other day, and a lot of you guys are liking it too, so I'm just really excited about it. It's going great so far. Like I said, it took me a couple tries to get the hang of it. I'm not going to lie, I had to whip it out a couple of times. But it is definitely going smoothly now, and it is just a really nice project to work on. You know, honestly, like as a little break in between school subjects or at night when I don't really want to do, you know, actual work, but I still want to knit. It's been really, really nice. And it is being housed in this project bag, which is one that I made. I love this one so much. I really need to break out my sewing machine and make some more bags. I just have not had the time to do it. So, anyway, I love project bags so much. So much. You can never have too many, right? Right. Okay, so that is it for works in progress. Now I do have a couple of designs that I want to share, one of which has gotten literally so much work. It's been one of the few things that I have worked on this week. I have worked on it a ton, like so many hours has been put into this one project. So let's go ahead and share it. Okay, so before I share the project that has taken up so much of my time this week, I wanted to briefly share this one. So this is the Patchwork Blanket, is kind of its going name right now. That very well might change if I come up with something a little bit better, but we'll just have to see. I'm definitely still in the designing and writing and making of this project, so it's not going to be released for a while. But this is the blanket that I am working on with all of these Shootji's minis. Let me show you one so that you can see what they look like. So I received the this like entire kit that had 109 of these little minis for Christmas, and I am making them into a blanket, and I'm so excited about it. So I'm using the Katona line, which is their 100% moisturized cotton yarn. This blanket is going to be absolutely perfect for summer, so I'm trying to get it done so that I can actually enjoy it this summer. But I am obsessed with it. So I have done 2 complete columns. The construction of this is pretty unique. I started over in this corner, and this is going to be the bottom left corner. So this is the right side, and this is what it's going to look like when it's done. Obviously, you know, there's going to be a lot more columns. It's going to be 10 squares, about 10 squares, so 10 squares long and 10 squares wide. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. So I am working on the 3rd column right now. I'm about halfway done, I believe. As you can see, I am working on a square right now. But yeah, it's going really, really well. Again, this is just kind of a project that I'm working on in between other projects. It's not something that I'm really focusing on right now. I don't have a specific deadline for it. Like, I would really just like to release it by like the end of August is kind of what I'm shooting for at this point. Hopefully earlier than that, but you know, we'll just have to see, kind of playing it by ear. But I'm having a lot of fun with it, and it is just such a beautiful project, and I am super excited to use it. Okay, now the design and the project that has taken up so much time this week, and quite possibly the project that I am most excited about this week, is in this bag. So as we all know, which it will have passed by the time that you see this episode, but Father's Day is this coming Sunday, June the 20th. And I am knitting a pair of socks for my dad. Now, honestly, I was kind of on the fence of what I wanted to do for him for a while, but I eventually landed on socks because I wanted to design a specific pair of socks for him. So, these are the socks so far. So I don't think I have my large sock blocker over here, which is a little bit frustrating, but here's what the first sock looks like. So here we go. This yarn is amazing and crazy, and I know he's gonna love it, and I'm seriously so excited to give these to him. So this is Knit Picks Stroll hand painted in the colorway Home Movie, and then this stitch pattern is kind of like a broken offset rib. And I really love the way that it is turning out. I think it is so beautiful, but also, you know, kind of masculine. Is definitely gender neutral. Like, I'm 100% making myself a pair of these socks as soon as I finish his pair. But it is really great for a man or a woman, which I really like. Now, these socks feature my favorite afterthought heel, my favorite toe. It is a design, so I will be writing it up soon and releasing it probably... Let me actually think. So today is June 20th. Probably late July. We'll see, of course, but that's probably what I'm going to be doing. And yeah, really excited about them. So I have the first one complete. The second one, I am cruising down the foot. So I have the entire leg done. And then, of course, I am about, I don't know, a little over halfway, I think, done with the foot. Here's my afterthought heel placement. So that's just my waist yarn. The yarn is kind of like self-striping, but also pulling at the same time. Like, it's more of a spiral than like even horizontal stripes, but it looks super cool, and I like it a lot. It's going to be, I'm seriously so excited to give these to him. He loves crazy socks, always has, and so I kind of try to carry that out in knitted socks because I just feel like that makes them a little bit more special. And yeah, I think he's going to really like these ones, and I have like a, I don't know, just a fun story behind it, which I will share when, you know, the pattern is closer to being actually released. But yeah, really excited about this project. So, of course, tomorrow is Father's Day for me. You know, again, it has passed by now, but so I have lots of knitting to do today. I need to finish the foot and knit the toe and the heel, but I'm honestly totally not worried about it. I know I can get it done. It's gonna be raining all day. Like I said, it's still not right now, which is a huge blessing. It isn't quite 8, and that's when it's predicted to really kick into gear, which again is why I'm filming this podcast now. But anyway, so here are the socks. They're awesome. He's gonna love them. I'm so excited about this pattern. So I'm knitting the 64-inch size, and yeah, I'm hoping they fit. He has a really big instep, so that's what I'm a little bit nervous about. I'm curious to see how the afterthought heel fits because I've only ever knit him socks that have a heel flap and gusset. But yeah, I'm excited. My brother, one of my brothers, also has a very high instep, and so I was again curious as to if an afterthought heel would be the right heel for him. But it totally fits. It fits him really well. So I'm hoping that Dad's feet are the same way. And yeah, super excited to give these to him. So wish me luck in completing them, because you know I have like less than 24 hours to do so, but. Like I said, it's going to be totally okay. I'm hoping to have a good bit of knitting time today. So that is it for designs and works in progress and all of that awesome jazz. Now let's get into a devotion and a little bit of a life update. Okay, so for devotional last week, I talked about how we shouldn't ignore the little blessings in our life that happen because we are expectant for a big thing to happen. So for example, if I'm in the waiting for some big event to take place, or if I'm, you know, waiting for an answer to a big prayer, I don't want to forget those little bitty things that God always places so perfectly in my life along the way. And then I was reading my devotional earlier this week, and it was an especially good one. I'm going through the wow, apparently I haven't said that aloud very much, but I'm going through the Esther Bible study by, she reads truth online. I'm having trouble talking. Anyway, I'm going through that Bible study, and one of the things that they talked about this week was how to not be scared to ask God for something huge. And I was kind of taken aback. Like, it kind of started off the conversation with, if you could ask for anything in the world, what would it be? Kind of that big, crazy question. And I feel like so often whenever I'm asked something like that, or when I think about something like that, if I'm, in prayer or something, I'm always like, okay, what big thing do I want to accomplish in life? What do I want my life to look like? And then what can I pray about or ask for that will one day lead me to that? And so I'm not really trying to ask for something absolutely huge. I'm trying to work through, these little manageable things that need to happen in order for something else to happen, which is often how I do a lot of things in life. Honestly, I work on manageable tasks that lead to something bigger. Like, for example, designing a pattern. I, come with the idea, make the sample, write the pattern, testers, that process, like those little bitty steps along the way that lead to something huge, such as releasing an entire pattern. So one of the verses that really stuck out to me was, "Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you your heart's desires," which is Psalm 37:4. And I think that is such a beautiful verse. And it really made me think, to not hold back, to not be like, oh, I'm not sure if He can deliver on that, so I'm not even going to ask. He can do anything. He is so powerful. Nothing is impossible with God. And it's really hard to remember that, I think, because we live in a world where, things are impossible. Like, everything is possible with God, but some things are impossible without God. Lots of things are. And so I think living in a world like that kind of makes us doubt certain things, and it shouldn't. So I encourage you to not be afraid to ask Him for something huge, because it's absolutely amazing what He will do in your life and what He will provide when you are ready and accepting and expectant for something big like that to happen. So I almost on my Instagram stories recently, and I was talking to somebody in DMs, and she was talking about how her and her husband are in the middle of making a big decision right now. And I think in something like that, when they are expected, or when you or I or whoever is expecting for something big to happen, to be confident in the waiting and to be sure of, I don't know exactly what this looks like, but I know that my God does, and I know that He always wants what's best for me, and that His plan will always come to pass. And I think the moment that you realize that is a really special moment, and it'll change everything. So that's what I wanted to encourage you with today. I am personally in the middle of a really crazy season, not gonna lie. However, this week was a good week. It was like kind of a breakthrough in terms of just, juggling all the things all the time. I have like a true part-time job now. It's pretty crazy. It's, babysitting, but it's a lot. And I love it so much, and I'm so grateful for the consistency. I talked about that briefly last week. And so I'm doing that 4 days a week, at least, actually 5 days this week. I'm doing it again tonight. And then, also running this business and doing school and, all other random summer things that always happen. So yeah, it's a lot, but this was a good week. I feel like I finally found, a little bit of routine, a little bit of better balance, I guess is what I should say, wanting to get some things done before I leave the house, and then get a whole bunch of things done when I get back. It's a busy season, and it's learning to navigate it all, and kind of fully, diving into this young adulthood season. It's really crazy, really interesting season, I'm not gonna lie, but it's been good, and I'm so thankful that, even though in the craziness, I can see the beauty and see the worth in every moment. And I think that's really, really important, and something that I always want to remember, regardless of how hard it might be. So, anyway, I think that's it for this episode. It has been such a good one. I'm so excited to work on all of these projects. I'm really hoping for a nice, relaxing weekend, a little bit of a break. I have a little bit more work to get done than I would like, to be quite honest, but it's going to be a good day. I'm hoping to get a lot of work done, and then also a lot of making done, and have a good Father's Day and honor my dad. I hope that you all had a good Father's Day, But yeah, so I hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will catch you all next week. Now, quickly, before I leave, I almost forgot to mention this. I am in the middle of hosting a giveaway right now, so be sure to click the link down below if you want to be entered into that, and it'll direct you to the YouTube video where you can see all of the details. But yeah, absolutely love hosting giveaways, so be sure to enter into that if you haven't already. Of course, be sure to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell right by the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any other videos. And I will catch you all next time. Until then, happy making. Bye.